Hello, welcome to Mad Max channel. So today is the official release of World of Tanks 1.0. What does that bring to us? An overhauled, well, not overhauled, a completely new engine core. Quite literally, it's just quite literally called core. So what does it do? It's basically a complete redesign of multiple graphic effects, physics effects, and wonder why they rebuilt several maps. Quite literally rebuilt maps, because some of them, even though I've played them for years, I quite literally don't recognize them. Anyway, the main purpose of it was to make sure that the game minimum requirements for computers, because there's partly people who use potato computers, is no higher than it used to be. And as far as I can tell, I don't think the higher requirements is actually any higher either, because in the previous game, I used to do 60 frames per second. In the current game, with everything set to maximum, I can still do 60 frames per second while recording. No problems or here or there. There is, at the end of this year, well, coming up at some point, a replay of multiple battles, so you can get to see some scenery. So obviously, you want to ignore my gameplay. Quite literally, it's more a case of cruising around, shooting around. I was surprised to see how many people are taking the game more serious than just wandering about and, you know, looking for nicks and crannies here and everywhere. But anyway, game does have more graphics settings to choose from foliage to certain other various little things. Now, don't get me wrong. The previous game wasn't exactly poor looking, and I'll explain more on that one in a minute. This one is obviously looking better. Now, would I compare it to War Thunder? Yeah, World of Tanks can finally say it can keep up with War Thunder to a degree. Like I say, because they had to keep the game with the baseline being as low as it gets for potato computers, they couldn't exactly raise the quality that much higher either. Would admit, you know, tanks still look as fine as they do. All the models seem to work. I haven't seen any bugs in any of the gameplay sections myself, so with that, that's great. Obviously, I do have an arsenal of tanks, and, you know, with lighting and all that, it does look great. So, with that one in mind, what do we think about the new 1.0? It does look nice. It does make things look nice. The maps look brilliant. I will admit, slightly disorientating, because the maps are so much larger and the maps themselves have been completely changed. Some of them. It's not the scenery, it just looks different, so it's slightly disorientating. So if you've been playing it for years, you know, it can be a bit problematic. If you're new, you'll be fine, you'll be happy. I mean, this update is basically to pull in new people. So, looking at the Centurion 7-stroke 1, we'll show now and have a quick look what it used to look like yesterday with the previous version. Now, this is not ages ago, this is quite literally recorded yesterday. This is what the game used to look like yesterday. Automatically, the camera inside the garage would mean you just can't get the proper rifling off the gun. However, you would zoom in. Some tanks, it used to be a problem, especially the German ones, long-barreled guns. You try focusing down the rifling of the guns and you just get black graphic issues like that. But like I said, it wasn't exactly that bad looking, and that's the game on maximum graphics, same as the current new version. I have everything set pretty much to maximum. Someone might spot that I might have forgotten something to max out, but you might notice there was a little difference. So this is what the game used to look like yesterday. Now, after this small little segment here on what the game used to look like yesterday, I do have a replay section of the game which it looked like years ago, quite literally years ago. So we ain't gonna bother about the battle, not particularly too interested. It's just the case that certain cases the game was starting to look extremely dated, being like rocks that around us is graphic conditions that, you know, you'd be happy with in like Return to the Castle Wolfenstein from like 2003. There quite literally is. Besides, I mean, they have overhauled little bits of the old world engine, as they used to call it. But quite frankly, it was just too poor and too outdated to be really able to upgrade it. It's like that rock we're passing by. It's like, what, really? Was that the best detection they could have done with it? Should improve sound effects. Oh yeah, the music. I don't know about you, but I'm not 100% sure if I am the biggest fan of the new music. It's a bit too... how do you put it? Too much there. Oh dear. So, on that note, we'll just take our one shot. Yep. We shall run away like a typical medium, but this is what the game used to look like. Now, ignore the stutter. I'm afraid Fraps is, and still is, not the best of recording programs in the world. But you kind of get the idea from looking at the texturing. The game was, well, a little bit, well, what lighting effects? There was none. Shadows? Not. In fact, did the game have any shadows? I couldn't even tell you if this is prior to physics being... oh, no, I know it is. It's prior to it's just after physics was launched. It was all fine and dandy when physics came. A whole load of tanks turned out to be hilariously comical in maneuvering. What a beautiful map this used to be. For seal clubbing. It was joyful. Trust me. If you played this game a long, long time ago, this here was a seal clubber's map. Pick the LOL tractor with its old aiming system. Anyway, back to the new one. So, Centurion 7.1. This is what it looks like. Modern day, today. Not yesterday. So it doesn't exactly look any different. In the game, it will obviously look more different. I'm sure there is some kind of difference, and it must be the rear cage rig grill or the storage grill on the back. I'm sure it was not that transparent with being able to see through it. It looks sharper, strangely enough. So, loading up a quick battle. And what shall we do? Camp bush or not camp bush? No, I think we'll be moderately aggressive. Now, when you start up a game, it comes up with graphic settings. This is the game saying, would you like some filtering? Would you like to adjust the gamma? I'm not interested. Would it please stop popping up every game? I have gone through the settings manually already. I have tested it. Why does it pop up? Anyway, I'm sure that going to do that for a little while and bug us. So, these are the rocks that I used to use for cover, and I can barely recognize them. The only reason why I recognize it is because that little dip there. It's like that next rock in front of us. I don't remember it having two little dips in it. I do like the difference between high velocity and this standard round trace lines. They do look nice. Will admit, can't remember 1940s film being that accurate. Well, we're camping bush too much. I think we're going to have to get ourselves going. We're, at the end of the day, we are medium tank. Medium tanks should find an advantage point and roll. But as I pointed out, the game looks vastly larger, which can make it disorientating slightly. It's like, I don't know where those other tanks are, but wait a minute, those hills over there used to be so high up. It used to be really hard to shoot over it or stuff like that. And it's, I mean, it's like this here. This used to be not as smooth to roll up this hill. They have removed quite a lot of vegetation. Good miss. Something tells me he didn't spot me. Well, he will do now. Right, I'm very aware. Damn. I'm very aware I'll have plenty of enemies to my left which will try and shoot me. Yeah, there you go. I've noticed it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break Frank fire. This is what he's doing here. I'm causing plenty of problems. Ammo racked. Yep. Well, we ain't going anywhere in a rush. I'm sure that turret's turning slowly too. So yes, that's what it looks like in Centurion. Gonna have another replay. Preferably with something even quicker. Let's pick something gravity defining. We'll admit, today it has not been long waiting in battle lines. Oh, in a queue. Probably more accurately put. So, picking a tier 2 battle with a tier 2 light tank, one of those vehicles where you just don't care how the battle goes. As we can point out here, plenty of grass in the ground. Looks like quite literally a field. This dinky tank, quite literally, been partly hidden in the ground by all this vegetation. Nice. So the T2 light tank, what is it like? Well, it's nippy.
Let's go.
It has enough armor on the front to bounce something odd occasionally. And the gun itself is great for point blank ranges. Oh yeah, did I mention it's nippy? It's my go-to happy tank. If you have terrible games in the tier 10 vehicle, just play this. It's guaranteed to make a little bit of credits, or more than a tier 10 vehicle will do. A little bit of a handbrake maneuver. Just free the needle. Off we go. Yep, graphically the buildings definitely have been overworked. Yay, handbrake turn. So, with that theory behind us, we shall someone's shooting us in the rear. Oh, those pillars could be damaged. Someone's shooting us from the rear over there. Anyone over here? Oh, one of our sides isn't particularly defended. I think we'll go and race over there. Plenty of T2 LTs flying around. Oh, the hell, I didn't take any hits or damage there, I'll never know. But I clearly weren't paying attention. Never mind. So, racing across, we can obviously tell. Physics-wise, the game hasn't changed. Vehicles bounce and stuff. Yeah, definitely bounce. It's drive, not tip. So yeah, the rocks definitely look more like 2017 rocks, not 2010 rocks. T2LT versus T2LT. Right, let's have a look. Who's next? Oh, another one. Even so I was down on health, I had more speed on him and killed him. Oh yeah. Right, it's time to pick another tank. Oh, this is probably one of those cases I might as well point out. The enemy team will win. Yes, you're probably looking at the scoreline and thinking, well, we got double the tanks, but yeah, we actually lost because we just couldn't kill 2 of those enemy tanks. Yeah, go figure. This is what happens if you play tier 2 tanks and you just wonder how on earth did it manage to have the brain power to install the game. Never mind think, ooh, I'll go and play it. I will especially point that one out with the medium tank driver, the British tank driver, who wanders right past the enemy, wonders what's shooting at him, and yet still never thought about, ooh, what's shooting at me? I wonder. Let's turn my turret around. Oh, still haven't seen him. It's like this guy here. I will point out in a second. He does a fatal mistake. Now he does a good job here. Kills that guy without taking any damage. Bonus. There's a bunch of light tanks which are nice and fast, who have next to no health left. Now, I know this is a review on the graphics, but I might as well point this one out. Because, you know, we're still going to get plenty of explosions coming out of this one. Especially seen as, you know, artillery completely messed up because he never moved away from the cap. That British medium tank driver had no clue what on earth he was doing. And everyone else had pop guns that, quite frankly, did not have the health, armor, or the penetration to actually bust anything up. We'll just watch what happens to this poor guy when he realizes he's there. Yep. My gun's not doing anything. Well, that answers that one. So that's one with plenty of health. So, artillery driver, you know we're near the enemy. He's capping. Yeah, you got 2 enemies right in the corner. Guys, you got 2 enemies right in the corner. Might want to gang up against them. Yeah. Ooh, artillery. I've just realized I have a drive gear. So, this guy here, the most armored vehicle possible. And he could have done the job. No, I shall do long range. No. Get closer. They're using premium ammunition on you. Your armor won't matter. He was the one with the best chance possible of killing those 2 if he decided to go closer. Because at the end of the day, he's got a pop gun with not enough penetration. Right, 1 enemy tank. Where's the rest of our team gone? Don't worry, artillery is stuck on rocks like a full retard. And we have this guy here, who, you know, it's not a great tank. You don't expect it to do great. But looking at the gun, he would have had the penetration. If he pointed his gun actually at the enemy, it would have been good. Right, there's an enemy behind you. I shall ping the position. You're looking around. Wrong direction. Something's shooting at you. You just saw multiple teammates just get killed in that direction. Really? Right, so someone's shooting at you from the rear. I'll go and... So yes, someone does say good job to the guy. doesn't surprise me really, because everyone else just went full board. So yes, it's a special weekend. Version 1 point something came out. Well, you don't say. It's a special. All the specials came out this weekend. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not a fantastic player. Hell, I've made mistakes. I've made many mistakes. But anyway, I wasn't going to watch the rest of that one because quite frankly, that was sad. Now, my turn to do a full retard. What do I pick? Could pick this. Nah, it's not really going to be a full retard. It's going to be the case where I underestimated how many enemies I was going to have. And I'm not exactly top of the tree. Yeah, I am, yeah. So, it's a rather decent matchup. We can deal with this. No artillery? No, no artillery. Don't need to worry about artillery. Now, there is a special effect that I kind of do like, that they've actually put it in. And I'm sure it was not in the game originally. And that is involving sand. Out of all the possible weird things to be a nice improvement over the old graphic system. And I spot it after a second. No, it's not the tracks. Not bothered about the tracks. Tracks obviously is nice. The fact that it sinks in is nice. But something I catch by the drive wheels. It's like, oh wait a minute. The drive tracks are actually picking up sand and dumping it down. Like the wood do, really, thinking of it. Lighting effect itself, well, nothing too special, but yeah. Looks nice. I will admit that the music is a bit blurry and a bit loud, but yep, there was a good case of high velocity shells flying through the sky. Looks nice. Ooh, destruction. Let's break these tents. I will admit they do need to work on the effects. This van, as an example, I drove over the front nose of it. The thing crumbled like it was put together by cardboard boxes. Or pack of cards. Pack of cards is the best way to describe it. It crumbled together like a pack of cards. A little bit too much crumble. Personally, I would have preferred if it had like, I've just crushed the front, so the front should be flat and the rest should be alright. Not a whole lot collapse. That would be one of the improvements I would say to the graphic engineers. Do that. So I'm afraid I let this ice-free driver die a little bit. I should have probably gone in front of him to save him, but yeah, that wasn't going to work. So I'm retreating a little bit, but what I didn't realise is everyone behind me are getting shot too. Yeah, we're greatly outnumbered. I could have sworn there was a lot more friendlies around here. Well, let's do a boo-boo. I forgot. This turret doesn't do full 360s. Turn, turn, turn! So on that note, fire and explosions and the sand effect. lucky enough, I will have the circumstances of every different kind of vegetation, strange enough. So we had desert, we had jungle, we've had a mix between both. Now we're going to have a completely different extreme, and an extreme of a map that I literally don't recognize. And I wonder whether it is a completely new map, because I don't recognize it. I really do not recognize it, but I think it's well cool. And it's this one here. And first off, I looked at it and I was like, what map's this? I really do not recognize it. And I'm pretty sure, and I could be really wrong with it, it's either one of the old maps completely rebuilt, or it's a completely new map. I just really can't tell. I look at that lighthouse and think, oh, is it the map with the lighthouse? I'm like, no, because that would have been in the middle of the map, not at the end of the map. So you then got this iceberg thing in the middle with a whole load of shipwrecks. And yes, I'm looking at ice and thinking, well, I'm in a jolly fast tank. Let's handbrake turn it. One of those things to note is on the ground is scratch marks on the ice. I think that is good that they thought of that as an effect. And then I'm looking at the battleship and thinking, is that what I think it is? Is that the Bismarck? Or the Tirpitz? And then there's another ship in front of you. And then there's pieces of other ships around the place. So you got a tunnel here, but you got a bridge over it. Someone on a light tank can get on top of this and be on top of the bridge. Wherever this map is, or whatever this map is. And my luck runs out here. A KV-220. Now, if you don't know, the KV-220 is a rare tank. Hard to get your hands on. Bloody tough armor. And I'm using auto aim, which just makes the situations even worse, but it's like, oh god, I'm sandwiched between a rock and a hard place here. KV-220 does have a other draw point, so its gun is horrendous. But, you know, you team up two KV-220s in a tier 5 match and you're having a good day, really. So, final video segment would be a replay with a different tank. We've had a victory and we've had a loss. Well, the LT tank lost simply because of idiots. Hey, the AC thingy-majig with the wang on the front of it. But no, we are going to use a British tank, and we're going to use the Conqueror. No, I think we're going to use the FE. I don't particularly think it surprises anyone these days on how to kill one of these. It's quite easy. You shoot at it. You just shoot at his body. Don't bother with the turret. Turret is quite reliable, as long as you're not showing the side of it. The whole armor itself, well, easily penetratable from every angle, pretty much. Don't get me wrong, a tier 8 tank might bounce around from the front. So, now we have a town map. We've had sand, we've had desert, and we have a town. Well, literally a town.
Let's get the show road.
So, advantages of this tank, well, rounds per minute, or RPM. Also the fact because the tank actually looks different. The Conqueror and Super Conqueror might as well be twin sisters. Also, this has an awesome gun. This is called the Punisher. Yes. Quite literally the Punisher. not very high damage per minute, but well, actually it does have DPM. Well, it has a very good DPM. Right, now we're going to do something that technically won't work very well. It's called side scraping. It won't work very well because I don't play this map very often. What I don't realise is to the left hand side of me, further up in those bushes, is an enemy tank. Surprising enough.
We're immobilized. Get going. Damage them.
Sorry about this, mate, old chap. Go around into him. And the thing I don't realise is, to my left hand side, up the hill, in the bushes, is a German tank destroyer. It's hiding very well. So, we're currently trying to keep some control over here. Yep, you just give me the side. Thank you. Yeah. Never spot the sneaky thing. The fact that the guns on the rear of the tank isn't exactly much of a vulnerability point, but in a second something's going to smack me hard. And I'm just wondering, and before you wonder, there was a glitch. Someone shot me from over there in the bushes, but it's not a tank destroyer. I think it was a bat shot. But in a second I'm sure he gets a help up, being a German tank destroyer. Every time I go backwards, it gives him more of a chance to shoot me. And there's one shot from him. It's like, where the hell is he going through? I literally thought he shot me through a window in the house, taking cover behind, but no, it's not.
Enemy armor.
I'm saying to myself, surely not. That must have just been a fluke. None of this taking a straight hit from that direction, which made absolutely no sense. So yes, there he was, this sneaky little git, hiding in the bushes. As you can tell, the team is going to lose, inevitably, I'm afraid. So, on that note, and considering the fact that the team is crumbling, and I don't think there's going to be a hero amongst a lot, I might as well point out that yes, I will keep you up to date to any other major changes to the game. But obviously at the moment I am still continuing with the Subnautica walkthrough at the moment, which has had a little hitch, but won't be a problem until about 2 episodes from now. We'll complete that one. I shall keep you up to date with the Simpsons tapped out mod, because it turns out that within a week there was an update and it looks like it's bust the bloody mod. But yes, there's that. And on that note, anything else. No, I'll just keep you up to date with anything else. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I shall catch you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And on that, I shall say cheerio.